like a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning, like a circle that you find.
But the rest of them, they are really surprised.
Welcome back, everyone. This is our Debonaire Ideal segment, of course, sponsored by Debonaire Cigars. Visit StogieGeeks.com/Debonaire for a list of retailers who carry Debonaire. Buy some today and get a little more Debonaire. Our topic for this evening for Debonaire Ideal is, of course, cars. I have a lot of influences in my life when it comes to cars, and I'm Phil and Will. I'm not sure exactly where you want to go with this. I could talk at length about cars. I wasn't always like the biggest car person, but it was absolutely an influence in my life. And I have to say today that my top two influences is, in terms of cars, are first my wife, and second is Top Gear, the UK show. So I'll let you guys kind of discuss from there. But cars play a pretty significant role in my life, especially with my wife and her family are very big into cars.
Yeah, actually, and just for a lot of listeners who don't know, I come from a car family. My grandfather owned a limousine company. My dad inherited that limousine company. He drove a lot of celebrities in his lifetime. Michael Jackson, Cyndi Lauper, had a lot of contacts in the record industry. He dissolved the company in 1986. And in his mid-40s, built a whole new career in the automotive dealer business, worked his way up to general manager. He's now 70 years old. He's retired. And so I could just tell you, we had cars like I have cigars. And so in a lot of those conversations, my dad used to take me along on a lot of these, when he was driving as a limo when I was a kid, and we'd have great conversations in that car. And even if he was smoking a cigarette and I couldn't smoke, it was just, I didn't mind the cigarette because I had such great conversations with him.
Yeah, I have to say my wife's family had so many cars when I first met my wife. And actually, I married my best friend's sister, which was somewhat controversial. It's all cool now. So I've known my wife for a really long time, right? And her family always had a lot of cars. And they had this small little house with like this one-lane driveway. And they had, I don't know, 4 or 5 cars for the whole family. So like I'd always pull up, and then it'd be like kind of like a little later on in the evening, and the line every night was, we got to bring the fleet in, right? Because they'd have to like put all the cars in the driveway. He had the classic, I think it was a Monte Carlo. He had a classic Monte Carlo. Then he always had like the fun car, like the convertible car. Right now, his convertible fun car is an older Toyota MR2, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, very fun car to drive. So my wife has taken that culture and brought it into our family, and is like, you got to drive a nice car. Like that's just the way it is. She would never be caught dead driving something like a Honda Accord. She got a Lexus was her first car. When she got her first job, she found, a pre-certified, pre-owned. She's like, I can get this for the same price I can buy this brand new Honda Accord. She's like, I don't know why people drive these things. She's like, I can drive something like this. And that was a great car. It had all leather interior, sunroof. It was a great car to drive. I used to love to smoke cigars in that car because it was leather and had the sunroofs, great ventilation. The smell didn't stick around. So, cars are a great thing. And then you watch Top Gear. There's all these supercars. And, man, these are like the luxury items, some of what you're talking about, Phil. And you and I have had conversations about some of these supercars. And they're just like unbelievable pieces of engineering and machinery, and it's just amazing to see what they're coming out with. And it's similar to cigars, right? You've got the, regular production cigars, and then you've got these really boutique, cars that kind of similar to the boutique kind of cigars. They're tailored to a very specific market in a lot of cases. So I think there's some parallels there as well as being, kind of a luxury item, as well as cigars are too.
Yeah, I mean, you can go from. I mean, I'm a fanatic for the automobile. I mean, I talk about our fathers and everything. My father was insane for cars. He had at one time the largest collection of 600 SWB Pullmans in the world, Mercedes-Benz. He had the only four-door Rolls-Royce convertible in the world. He was the first guy to import the Koenig design, 1,000 SEC Gull Wings, the Gambella Avalanches. He had the first 5,000 S Lamborghini without the fin in America. I'm still a fanatic for cars. I mean, there's not one car I own that hasn't been modified some way. I have projects going at all times. I got a 68 notchback Mustang right now. I just took down all the way and rebuilt it all the way up. I got a Mach 1 down here in the Dominican. You know? I mean, the automobile to me is rolling art. What Enzo Ferrari did and Ferruccio Lamborghini did and Ettore Bugatti, and it's very much like the cigars. Okay, yes, you have your great cigars. You got your 5-liter Mustangs, then you got your Paganis.
Yeah.
Yes, they have 4 wheels and they have a motor and a transmission, but you're talking like the Koenigsegg's and the Ajetas and all these that are 1,100 horsepower and the Veyrons and all these amazing cars, and it very much had a lot to do with me smoking cigars, because that was like, my father was a big cigar guy, he was a big car guy, and it personified being successful, getting out of a super fly car with a big cigar in your hand. I mean, you pretty much, you get in anywhere. They let you park, right in front. They park your car in front so it looks good for their place,
Right. Phil, no, we've talked about Bugatti before.
You just hit on the subject, I go crazy. Another guy was a fanatic, Kirk Kendall from 724, another car fanatic, Yeah,
he was on the show just recently, actually.
Yeah, he's got some serious cars, man. He's got a 350 GT Shelby parked in his house. I mean, it's mint, signed by Carl Shelby.
Wow.
Amazing vehicle. Amazing. Man, I just love cars. I don't even know how to. You just hit on a subject that I could talk. We'll break the internet if we start talking about it.
Well, now, Phil, you and I have talked about Bugatti before, right? And I've watched Top Gear, and they've had the Bugatti on there before, and I'm like, that Veyron is an unbelievable vehicle. Like, I drive a Mini Cooper as one of my fun cars, right? And I've done the same thing. I souped it all up. I've made as many upgrades as I can. It's a super fun car to drive. But I'm like, there is 4 of my Mini Cooper engines with the turbochargers inside of the Bugatti Veyron. And I'm like, how do they do that? Like, what's their business model for that? And you had some interesting insights on that.
Billionaires. Rich people that got FU money. You know what I mean?
In Dubai, right? You were saying?
That Dubai is like, I think there's the majority of them are in Dubai. There's a lot of them in California. There's some in New York. There's a bunch in Asia. But then you got the Pagani. For me, the real car out there right now that I love is the Pagani Huayra and then the Pagani Zonda. Those two, the guy, he was Argentinian, went to work for Lamborghini. He's one of the guys that did
Oh, Phil, you still there? It says call on hold. Did he drop off, or did he just put it on hold? He's placing his order for a Pagani. Will, you still there? We lost everyone. It's just me talking about cars. This is scary. I'm going to have to loop Chris in because Chris is big into cars too. Will, you there?
There, I'm back.
Okay, good.
I had a crash.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. We lost Phil too. Will, do you have a fun car yet?
I did. In 2003, I was living in New Jersey, and there was a snowstorm going on. And I'm in the car, and I'm driving down Highway 1, and I pass a Toyota dealership, and I see a 2003 Toyota Solara convertible. And I just looked at that car, and I said, I got to get that car. So I literally went in and bought it, in the middle of the snowstorm.
Yeah, like sight unseen. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they wanted me to take it home that day. I'm like, well, no, I want to take it home. I'll pay for everything, but I'm not taking it home until the snow clears.
Till the snow clears, yeah.
I still have that car. My son now is of driving age, and he is borrowing it from me. But I love that car. That's my fun car. It was a convertible. It's the only convertible I've had. And I mean, I decked it out to the T. I had a satellite radio before satellite radio was even known.
Yeah. Before it was a
And,
thing, right?
yep. And I used to, when I was living in New Jersey, I just loved driving that thing. Sometimes it would be 50 degrees out, and I couldn't wait to put the top down.
That's right.
So, yep.
Well, it's interesting. I love classic cars as much as anyone, and I appreciate their beauty and nostalgia and just how awesome they are. And then I look at what you get when you buy a newer car. Speaking of some of the technology, me being a nerd, I get very torn between, classic car or newer car. And even with my fun car being 5 years old, I'm looking at the newer Mustangs going, well, you can get a lot more in terms of technology and everything in a newer car too. So there's a lot to be said between, nostalgia and newer cars. Now, Phil, do you find yourself gravitating towards a more classic car, or are you more into newer cars, or a mixture, or?
Both. They're all special in their own way. It's like Maduro, Havano, Candela, Connecticut. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, he likes, rye whiskey. He likes bourbon. That guy likes scotch, I mean, all cars are beautiful in their own way, I'm a Mustang guy, American Muscle. That I love the most. But I want an AC Cobra. I always wanted one. I'm going to eventually get one. But then they also made in '68, they made a Cheetah. That was like the car that was made by Chevrolet to compete with them against the Cobras. The modern cars are amazing. I mean, I have a QX56 here, and I've done that thing to the hilt. An Infiniti. They're amazing vehicles.
Absolutely.
I like SUVs. There's a purpose for every one of those vehicles.
Yep.
I love
Phil, I love the newer Mustang. The latest 2015 model Mustang really impresses me. I think that's an awesome vehicle.
You go test drive the new 5-liter.
Yeah.
You're going to buy it. You'll buy it.
That's good to know.
You'll buy that car. You'll take that Mini Cooper, throw the keys at the guy.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of doing, actually, is my fun car. My wife was kind of on the fence about Mustangs, but I think if she drives the newer one, she's going to be sold.
They were both. You're talking about Monte Carlos and stuff. They're bow tie people. They're Chevy people. Her family.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they're not big Ford people, dude.
I'm Blue Oval. I'm the Blue Oval, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah, first on race day.
We'll see if we can convert them.
No, but I'm telling you, they're so amazing with the. I rent a lot of Fords on the road. All of them with the sync system they have in them now. I took a little Edge all-wheel drive, 2-liter turbo. The thing was insane.
Yeah,
it was the funnest little car I've driven. It was like I didn't want to give it back to the people. Then I got a big Chevy Suburban. That was awesome. And I got a Navigators and these different ones. But the last one I had that was really nice was the new QX80 Infiniti. It's like an airplane. Oh. It's just insane.
It is.
It's like sitting in your living room. It's like the leather is. It's just amazing. It's like a Rolls Royce, man. And then you got all these. Everyone's competing so much in the car game right now. Hyundai, they're making stuff you wouldn't believe, man. They're making.
Yeah.
The Equus and the Genesis. The Equus is basically they patented after a Rolls Royce. It's like.
Isn't that what you drive, Chris? Yeah, Chris drives a Genesis Coupe. He's got it all souped up. The thing, it sounds awesome. He remote starts it from the studio, dude. You can hear his exhaust from in here, and it sounds awesome.
Well, God bless him.
He did some serious mods to that, too. So we have a lot of fun conversations here in the studio about that.
You guys don't remember, maybe Phil does, but Hyundai was a disposable car back in 1988.
It was.
It was that in the Yugo.
So they come a long way. Exactly. Yep. Not anymore.
No.
Awesome. Phil, sorry. Any closing comments on the car discussion? I think you're right. I think it definitely. There's a tie between cars and cigars, and it's a very cool thing. And it's interesting. A lot of people are into cars on different levels, and I think a lot of people are into cigars on different levels. And there's a lot of parallels there.
What I see all the time in cigar shops: guns, cars, and cigars. If you can talk subjects, you're going to talk to 90% of the people. And you got to think about it. Rolls Royce, you can order a humidor built in your car. We work with. I do a fight twice a year with Rolls Royce and Aston Martin, co-sponsored in Nashville at the Standard Club, and I mean, and the last one we did with them, it's corporate Rolls Royce. I was with the main guys. I got invited to go in May to the new Corniche convertible that you can't bring your phone in, you can't take any pictures. They're going to show it to us, and it's like my dream sequence. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
know?
Yeah, and speaking of that, Phil, next time you come on, we're going to have to reserve the Debonaire Ideal segment where we talk about boxing for when you come on next. Because Will and I both have fond memories of bonding with our dads watching boxing. So it's interesting you kind of mentioned the boxing thing there. So we're going to reserve that for when you come on next.
Thank you for that. And gentlemen, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the confidence. Thank you for being Debonaire. Thank you for helping me spread it. Only good things to come, friends. We're going to see each other in the winner's circle. I guarantee it.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Phil.
We really appreciate it.
Thanks for your support.
You have a blessed night, everybody. God bless everyone.
You too, Phil.
care.
Thank you. With that, we're going to take a short break and come back and try and bring on Jason Holly from Viva Republica. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.